What's going on, all you sports and gambling fans out there? Today, NCAA basketball betting is what we're doing. And joining me here is Dave Golikov, our SBR contributor. Now, the game we're looking at here is the Oklahoma Sooners going up against the Iowa State Cyclones. And so far this season, both teams have actually split two regular season meetings, both winning on their home floors. Now, as for the Sooners, they won yesterday against the Cowboys 64-49 and are riding on a two-game winning streak. So, Dave, do you think that they will be able to pull off a win in a neutral venue?
Well, I think this is about as close of a game as you can get. I think that definitely we're going to see Oklahoma's defense show up. That's really what's been carrying them so far. But we need to see a little bit more from them offensively if they're going to get the job done here. They definitely feasted off of Oklahoma State's bad shooting in the quarterfinals, as Oklahoma State shot just 35.7%, they shot even less. Oklahoma shot 35.7%. Oklahoma State shot 34.5%. They need to play better at the offensive end. I know you take a look at the numbers, and they won by 15. They scored 64. It looks good, but I think Oklahoma State is a different animal than Iowa State. Iowa State's ranked in the top 15 in the country. If Oklahoma can shoot better, I think they're going to have a shot to win this game. Their defense is definitely going to show up, but they need more from their offense. So that's what I'll be looking for them in this spot.
All right. Now, interestingly enough, Iowa State, for the season they're 23-8, but they almost didn't make it here today. It didn't look like the Cyclones were going to be able to beat Texas and reach the semifinals, but a game-ending 12-0 run actually saved the day. Now, they won that game 69-67 and are currently riding on a three-game winning streak. So with that in mind, Dave, do you think that they could actually pull off the upset in this spot?
Yeah, well, I see the game at a pick, so I don't know how big of an upset it would be either way, but Iowa State needs to start faster. This has been the story for them for, we'll say all month or the last couple weeks. They dug themselves a big hole against Oklahoma, dug themselves a big hole against Texas yesterday, down by, 16 at one point, and then, of course, coming back and winning at the buzzer. This is a team that is very good, but they need to stop digging themselves massive holes, and forcing themselves to play from behind. I don't know, maybe that's what works for them, but in my opinion, I think that's a recipe for disaster. But I think in this spot, they're not going to fall too far behind from Oklahoma, just because I think their defense, they held Oklahoma to a low shooting percentage the first time they met. On March 2nd. I think they learned from that. I think they learned from the fact that they had to dig themselves out of a massive gap in that one. And I think they're going to play a little bit better. We're going to see them play more like they played in the second half of that game than anything else. I think these huge deficits are going to stop. Fred Hoiberg really tore a strip off of his team after the win against Texas. And I think we're going to see a different Iowa State team here tonight.
All right. Currently, the line, some books are favoring the Sooners by a point, but others just have it as a pick 'em. Now, trends say that Oklahoma is, when favored by 1 to 4 points, they've gone 4-2. But when it comes to Iowa State, as a dog in that same range, they're 4-0, man. So, what do you think? If Iowa has the point, in favor, should we grab it, or it's a pick 'em? What do we do in this case?
I think this is a personal preference type of a game. In my opinion, I like Iowa State a little bit more. I just think they're, it's a tough case to make because, we do these videos, we make a case for both sides, and we make a pick. I think you can make a case really for either team. You can look at Iowa State and say, well, this is a team that's kind of getting lucky. Big holes against Oklahoma, big hole against Texas. They maybe shouldn't be here. And then on the flip side of it, you say, well, Oklahoma, they haven't been shooting well for a couple weeks now, and they kind of feasted off of Oklahoma State having a really bad game against them, so maybe they shouldn't be there. It's really kind of a personal preference, and I think the fact that it's a pick or -1 one way or the other highlights that even more. For me, I like Iowa State. I think maybe the crowd's going to be a little bit in their favor as their Cyclones like to travel a little bit more. The Cyclones fans. They have a rabid fan base. But other than that, I lean more into the Iowa State category. I think this is a team that if they play better from start to finish, they're going to do better. And I think that they are going to perform better from start to finish because they've already been in that situation where they had to dig themselves out of a big hole against Oklahoma, trailing 37-18 at halftime, needing 59 points in the second half of that game, just a couple weeks ago. I think they've learned from that, and I think they're going to play better as a result.
All right, man, I totally agree with you, Dave. Hey, as always, a pleasure for all the insights and the pick here. We'll talk again on Monday. Everyone else, don't forget to check back with Dave tomorrow for some more sports coverage and your free picks. Till then, for SBR Picks, this is Dax Floyd.